Hey folks, John Practical Nurse. This is our first official go live here. I'm sorry I'm coming in about an hour late. I had some things I had to get done, hence the funny looking hairdo here. And I deeply apologize to y'all. But let's hold on here. Let's see if we get some people forward. Basically, the subject of today is basic rifleman. I know it's Monday. If this is a bad day for y'all, please don't hesitate. Let me know. The information I want to give y'all today is in light of an incident that happened recently. And I just think there's some information that this would probably be awesome for you all to know about. Let me slide over here because this is a new location. Hopefully I'm coming in nice and clear and everything. So let me kind of slide over here a little bit. I don't want to get in the way of the Texas flag here, y'all. Again, this is a new location. I'm setting up at the Mikasa here. Okay, whoop. What am I hitting the chair up against? Okay, let's see if that works a little better, okay? Hey, how's everyone doing? Can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all see me okay? This is a different location. It's still in my house, but didn't know if y'all could hear me okay or what. I am doing good. How you doing, brother? It's all going good. How are you? Okay, can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all see me okay? Hey, Brandon, how are you? Doing good, Disturb? Good, good? Okay. Let's get ready to rock this here in just a few. Find a different location in the house. The others were under the 2-story section. Hey, Steven. Howdy. And I think this one we have a little bit lower ceiling in this area, so I wanted to use this one. Howdy, everybody. Oh, man, brother, I hear you. Just had dental surgery. I hear you. I'm just glad everyone's getting things taken care of that needs to be taken care of. I do encourage you. Hey, Robert, how you doing, buddy? I just encourage you all to get these little maintenance things with your body taken care of now. It's just something I think you should really do because I can tell you as an ER nurse and, working out in the field a few times that nothing is as debilitating as dental problems. I have never seen a grown man cry as much as when he had an abscess or something like that. It can be quite painful and face swells up to the point that the eye can close, and that's an infection not good. All right, y'all ready? We all ready to rock? All right, let's talk about this. First thing I want y'all to focus on this discussion is everyone needs to be a basic rifleman. If I agree with anything at all, some of the things that I've been indoctrinated with is this, that everyone needs to be a basic rifleman. Now, does that mean that you have to, hit a shot 500 meters away? No. You just have to find the weapon, the rifle that you're the most familiar with, okay? Be it this one, an AR platform, okay? Or, as in my case, the Kalashnikov platform, okay? I'm going to probably have to fix that. But this one is my AK-74, my Bulgarian Beauty. Okay, chambered in 5.45 by 39. The other one's 5.56. I got hit up with that question. Which rifle would you take if there was a commie type invasion? And I said that depends on a couple of things. Number one, the first one being is are y'all going to issue me one? Okay, because if I get issued one, I'll take whatever you have as long as I'm familiar with it, be an AR or an AK. And I think those are the two probably most prominent answers that somebody will come across. And the next one is if I'm local. Okay, if I'm local and I have access to my own caches, never put all your eggs in one basket, folks, but definitely know where all your baskets are, and we'll get into that later, okay? How quick do I have? How fast can I get to my caches of ammunition and resupply? If you haven't thought of that, you need to, okay? Just think about that, okay? If I can get to my caches of supply, how you doing, Daniel? I will choose my AK every time. Why? It's reliable for me. I've tested it. I've tried it. I've gone through the mug. I've gone hog hunting through it. I've gone deer hunting with it. I have done everything you could possibly do with an AK. That's moral and legal. Okay? All right? But I trust my AKs, okay? Now, let's say that I had to go away from here. All right? Let me reach around this thing over here, folks. Let me try to find something. I will tell you this. If I had to leave this state and I had to rely on somebody else's supply chain or something like that, let me back up. Now, for the pistol, as long as I'm local, I would still shoot my 40 cal. All right? Listen carefully. So if I'm local and I have access to all my ammunition caches and my resupply, it'd be, I'm sorry, my ammunition for my AK, and for my pistol, it would be one of my AKs and my 40 cal. If I had to go away from here, it would be this one. Okay, it would be an AR. I'd grab my AR and take it with me, because that 5.56 round is predominant no matter where you go in America. You can go anywhere in America, okay, and unless we're having some kind of bad shortage or something like that, or another Obama ammo scare, that round is pretty prominent. For my pistol, I would use the Glock, okay, 9mm. 9mm specifically, folks, because it's everywhere. That's the only reasons I would pick those two in that situation if I had to go away from here, just because of availability. Okay, so whatever that rifle it is, folks, that you are familiar with, pick up that one every time. I mean, some people ask me, Johnny, what is the best rifle to have? I will tell you this, folks. I'm not a gun snob. Whatever works for you. If you're more handy with a shotgun, I've seen some people do some damage. I can see some of the littlest, tiniest ladies can do some serious, awesome damage with a 20 gauge. Okay. I prefer a 12 gauge, but that's me. But if your choice is the 20 gauge, hallelujah. I've seen some semi-automatics that I thought could just devastate a car in no time at all. So whatever it is, whatever rifle you're familiar with, that's what I want you to get used to, folks. Now, let's start talking about ammunition here. All right? Hey, Glock. You can find magazines for it. You can find parts for it. Whatever. Okay, it's actually a little bit more accurate than my Taurus. Okay, but okay, yes, I became a Glock fan, but I'm a fan of whatever works for you or me or whatever the case may be. Let's talk magazines here, folks. How many do you have? Okay, you may have been one of my have more than this, but have a minimum of 7. Okay, standard load is 7 mags. Okay, now modern doctrine will probably tell you you can zip through 7 mags. So how you doing? You can zip through. We learned, just years ago that 7 mags kind of wasn't always cutting it, and a lot of my friends that were Cav, they would keep 11 mags on them. Whoa, that's a lot of weight. Okay. You have 8 on your rig? Awesome. That's cool, bro. That's cool. If you can carry 11, that's awesome. Don't forget, keep one in the well. And keep 6 on you in the mag holders, y'all. Mag holders. Very important. The next thing I want y'all to focus on is with those 7 mags, I want you to focus on some stripper clips, okay, or whatever means that you have to reload those mags fast. Okay. So if you use that ETS cam loader like I have, that's great. I will tell you, hey, how you doing, brother? What's up, Patriot? Right on, right on. If you use stripper clips, that's great. Make sure you have the methods of having them already loaded. Have the method to load it. Whatever rocks your boat, man, that's fine. ETS cam loader, whatever whatever that you can carry that's portable. That I like that one loader that begins with a P, and I can't remember it. I don't have one, but I've seen them work, and they're great. This thing works for almost every kind of mag there is out there, rifle mag. Kind of like a board, and you load up your rounds. I think that one's great, but as for portability, maybe you can throw it in your truck. I think that's great. I just don't think you can carry it with you. And I think it's important to be able to carry a lot of this stuff with you. So we got ammunition. How many rounds? How much can you carry? A lot of you mentioned that you have 8. That's great. I carry just specifically 7. Now for my pistol, y'all, I will keep about 3 mags on my body, and I'll keep 1 in the well. Okay, so that's a total of 4. If you think about it, those of us that have 15-round mags, that is a total of 60 rounds. So you're doing good. Am I breaking up, brother? I love AKs and I love ones and import. Yeah, that's great. Whatever works for y'all. That said, folks, I probably would not, considering that I consider my pistol my backup firearm, and I'm not as good with my pistols as I am with my carbine. I think that would be the limit, about like 60 rounds, 4 mags for my pistol. Again, keep it light, folks, and we'll get into that keeping things light here later on. When we start talking about other secondary ancillary weapons, definitely a good knife, okay? Be it folding, pocket, whatever the case may be, whatever you want. Now, let's talk about your belts. and why it's important. Okay. This is the basic, folks, the basics that I want to see with your belt or whatever the case may be. And this is just, again, what I recommend, okay? Now, one thing I want to show you is, you know, you have your mag. You have 3 mags on this one. Have another one on the other side. I tend to, when I reload an AR, I tend to use my left hand. When I reload an AK, I tend to use my right hand. It's just because of where all the, basically, between the charging handles and the mag release and the whole 9 yards, it's just what I believe in doing. Now, another thing I want y'all to have is a decent portable flashlight. Okay, I can't tell you how many times this has come in handy. And I will tend to put that flashlight, just whatever pocket I can find that's handy. Okay, whatever. Just if you have like a little mag, a little bitty little mini mags, that's great. There's a few flashlights that I recommend. Use a chest rig and use the same mag pack. Exactly. Warsaw Patriot, I have a chest rig. I have plates. I figured that's for another video though. I'm talking about basics here, basics. Okay. Here's a Condor. I like Condor. Trust me, whatever works. Again, this is something else that's important right here. Right here, y'all. Your IFAC. Okay, don't forget that the I in IFAC stands for individual. This is yours. This is what you're going to be using on yourself, or if you're down, that your buddy's going to come help you with. Okay, you got a tourniquet. You put that tourniquet where you can get to it, and it's good and secure. And it's still, a lot of people disagree with me about the plastic wrap. If you're like me and you live in an area that you're prone to summer squalls of rain and stuff like that, floods, hurricane, whatever, I just prefer to keep it like this. It'll retain the life of it a lot longer, folks. Again, this is just my personal opinion. You have that one? Okay, good deal. It's my personal opinion. I have to go help out with hurricanes and disasters and stuff, and sometimes I got to jump in the water, and I don't always think about taking some of my gear off. It's probably a good idea to make you not sink as fast, I guess, for want of a better term. But heck, some guys are so skinny, a little bit of buoyancy won't hurt, okay, or lack thereof, okay. But folks, I want y'all to see this. Now, why is it important to learn your basic first aid? Here's why. The life you save may be your own. I want y'all to get that in your head right now, okay. Let's just say this about first aid, folks. First aid, when it comes to basic, is very simple. Okay, we have this little algorithm that we use in the hospital. It's partially a joke, okay, but listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. You need to render, hey Eric, how you doing? You need to render first aid if something is missing that should be there. That should be your first clue. Okay, you need to, that should be your first clue, folks. You need to render first aid. If somebody says, ouch, you need to turn around and see what happened, okay? If something's sticking in that shouldn't be there, that's another reason. Now, let me just clue you in on this really quick, folks. If something is sticking in somebody that doesn't belong there, let me tell you, yes, first aid is crucial. The worst thing that you could possibly do is automatically pull it out. A lot of us like to believe that we should John Wayne things. Oh, look, there's something stuck in my hand. It's dark. I was near an explosion. Let me just John Wayne it and pull it out with my teeth. Wrong. Okay, that thing that's sticking out that shouldn't be, okay, could be a bone. Don't mess with it. Cover it up. Okay. If it is something sticking in, it shouldn't be. All right. All right. There's a word I'm trying to think of, like block it up. Okay. To stabilize it. Stabilize it. Okay. If a joint, folks, okay, another clue is a joint. Some things need to be pushed through. I'm going to sit there and say this. Just leave them be, okay? All right? Yeah, don't always, but exactly, if it's sticking in, just leave it be and stabilize it, okay? Just leave it be and stabilize it. If it's not in the alignment that it should be, please don't play John Wayne, okay? Hello, partner, I'll put that back in place. Well, do that, okay? You want to stabilize that in position of comfort. If it's stuck like that, leave it until you get to a higher level of care. You can block it up with all kinds of things. Trust me, in disasters, I find all kinds of debris to make basic splint. You just want to stabilize it in a position of comfort, okay? I've seen wrists that have gone like, wow, isn't that familiar? They've gone like that, okay, because they were broken. All right, please, folks, don't sit there and try to realign it yourself. Don't try to put it back in place like that. Just stabilize in position of comfort. This is another thing that I was sitting there telling somebody about. We had an actual trauma patient where their intestines were out. Don't try to push them back in. Cover them up, okay? And trust me, folks, the IFAC kit that I'm building, I know it's taking me a little time, but there's a couple of crucial items that I want to put in there. One of them is sort of circulation airway, okay? Why circulation? Because you can bleed out from a major artery in 4 minutes. Now, we talk about putting pressure and stabilizing things. If it is bleeding, put pressure on it. If it is spurting, grab that tourniquet and apply it as fast as possible. Some of you will sit there and ask, Johnny, where exactly in position to the wound do I need to put the tourniquet? I want you to remember this, okay? Help me out here, y'all. Is this Boy Scouts, Beaver Scouts? I don't know, okay? Bear Scouts. I want you to remember the 3-finger rule, okay? Wherever that wound is, okay, wherever that wound is, I want you to, like, let's say my watch is the wound, okay? Let me turn this around here. I want you to put that tourniquet from proximity to the heart, 3 fingers, okay? So I want that tourniquet right there, okay? Some people will go all the way up here. You know, in the civilian world, we teach it. You need to get proximal. You need to get as close to that wound as possible, okay? Proximal to the heart, okay? Reason is we don't want any more tissue damage, okay? Close to the heart. I want you to kill off that whole arm. If we can save this part of your arm, we're going to do that. Again, your first priority is to what? Save the patient. If it's spurting, if something's missing, a hand or something, and it's spurting, just go ahead. That's an arterial bleed, folks. Three fingers from that wound and attach that tourniquet. All right. Again, if it's just regular heavy bleeding, pressure, wrap that Coban on there. Horse wrap. It's got a Coflex. There's a lot of different names for it. Folks, there is a lot of lists that I could give you. Please refer back to that first aid. And if you want me to do another one, just making you a basic list of exactly what you're going to need, by all means, remind me, and I will do that. One of the things that I recommend. It's a little pricey, but I want you to get two chest seals with vents, okay, on there. Victor Alpha November Tango Sierra vents. Okay, I know I've had a hard time saying the letter V, but I want you to get the chest seals that had the vents on there. All right. Here's why. They have found over studies that when you have the ones that are vented, that the chance of the lung getting worse is diminished, okay? I cut my pinky. My wife put a tourniquet around my neck. Don't let her do that. I know a lot of, hey, Orange Pit Bull, how you doing, brother? I know a lot of exes that would, especially I know all of mine would like to put a tourniquet around my neck. You know, sometimes. But anyway, folks, I got to mention this, okay? And I'm trying not to violate any HIPAA laws. There are some places that tourniquets don't belong, okay? I'm all for the spouse wanting to liven it up in the bedroom, but I actually, no, let me just say this. There are just some places, folks, a tourniquet doesn't belong to make things. Don't do that, okay? Please don't do that, okay? Don't. Hi, Frenchie, okay? All right, sweetie, get out. I'm not kidding. Have fun with your gear. Have fun with your spouse, your significant other, but there are some places, folks, that are tourniquets don't go, okay? All right, so let me get off trail. This is important. This is information I want you to know. Now I just lost my train of thought here. I have people ask me if you should go out and buy Quick Clot. It's hard to clean out. I would rather you put right pressure on there or instant oatmeal. Believe it or not, just get you a packet of instant oatmeal. It works. They're doing a lot of studies, folks, and I'm all for the instant oatmeal thing. Okay. Some people ask me about some over-the-counter medications that I recommend. Things like Tylenol, Motrin, folks, providing you're not allergic, anti-diarrhea medicines. Let me tell you how I feel about that. If you are stationary and you have diarrhea, great, some of you are probably eating right now, and I apologize, depending on your time zone. I don't recommend them. Okay. Uh, Morphine, is it yours? And if it is, a lot of state laws, you better have a prescription for it. Okay. Uh, Antidiarrheals, folks. I want you to flush the toxins out. Just drink plenty of water, sip it, keep yourself rehydrated, until you can get to a higher level of care. Now, if you are on the proverbial run, okay, stopping to go every 5 minutes may not be an option. I just want you to take a couple of those antidiarrheals and just keep chugging water then, okay? I know that sounds cruel, folks, but trust me, I can tell you in a lot of situations when you're running, uh, when you're running and stuff like that, there's a lot of worse things you have to worry about than your underwear and your shoes, okay? Just trust me on that one. I will elaborate on that later on in another video. What other medications, folks, do I recommend? Aspirin, Tylenol, for fever, for aches, pains. If you have, hello from Michigan, how y'all doing up there? Hey, Chopper, how you doing, brother? God bless our Vietnam vets and whatnot. I will sit there and say this, folks, that if you have any prescription med, please take it with you. Water is absolutely a must-have. Remember your rules of 3-ounce survival. Okay, 3 days without water. I think three. I think I couldn't last probably a day here in Texas doing the stuff I do out here without water. And yes, folks, I do. I honestly, I will drink a gallon of water a day. You can see I've been working outside. It was about 80 degrees outside. Um, I recommend if you can carry a gallon of water, yes. Crazy glue for stitches, absolutely. I will sit there and say this, folks. They're good for wound closure, but I will sit there and say this. They actually make a dermal glue that I think is even better. Again, folks, use your Coban and use your tape, okay? Worry about what happens to the hair later. The tape I was sitting there showing you on that first day video. And again, folks, if you want me to do another rundown on that and explain these things, yes, I will do that. Doc John is supposed to get with me on one of my weekends off. We're going to go into how to suture. Do I recommend you carry antibiotics? The answer to that is if you have an antibiotic that you take regularly because of certain reasons. Those of us who are older for prostate problems, if you take Cipro when you have a flare-up, I'm all for that. Please be advised, y'all, that antibiotics are micro-specific, bacteria-specific. All right, an antibiotic will not help you if there's a virus, okay? And hence you're going to have diarrhea and a few other things. Antibiotics will treat only certain bacteria and won't touch other ones. What happens if you take them, you overtake antibiotics? Well, you just become susceptible to whatever bug is floating around. If you don't take your full regimen of antibiotics, you breed a stouter bug. This is why when people tell me I have some antibiotics left over, so I took it. No, don't do that, because we give you the regimen that you should take to kill the bug, the bacteria. Excuse me. A little dry here. Excuse me. So do I recommend carrying antibiotics? Only if it's something that you normally take. If you are like me, folks, and you have a great immune system, I probably wouldn't take any at all. I don't think I've had to take antibiotics for anything for years. Honest, I can't remember when I had to have one last. There was a couple of years ago where I was down. I think it was a year or two ago. I had bronchitis because the bad flu was going around. And here's why. Here's another lesson about first aid. Okay, anybody that maliciously hacks on you because they're sick, just get away from them because they're an idiot. All right, you would be amazed that when the flu season comes around, full-grown adults would come to the ER and right on me. Okay, I take the flu shot, by the way, and I do recommend both for basic first aid. If you take immunizations, I recommend tetanus, and I do recommend the flu shot. I take them because of exposure. People will come into the ER and they will hack all over me. Okay, so I will wear a mask. If I had a flare-up with months ago and she was like, darn it, I couldn't get a chance to finish reading that. I'm sorry. But people will hack on me left and right. And people in a bad situation, folks, will take something small and blow it up. Okay, so you're putting yourself at risk. Do not put, no, brother. Do not put a tourniquet on your junk. Okay, don't. Iodine. If you have a first aid kit and you can get the small containers, Yes, be advised though, folks. I would cut it in half. Um, with water, with drinking water. Folks, I will wash a wound out with plain good clean drinking water, and that's about all I carry. If you do use the iodine and you have an available container, y'all don't believe that really did happen, by the way. Okay, I'm not going to go into more details because that's kind of not right. But anyhow, if you have a bottle of drinking water, you want to dedicate it to what we call basically, we will take that iodine and dump it there till it's a little bit of dark tea look, and then we'll hose off a wound like that. Uh, does your CPR certs from the American Heart Association? Yeah, absolutely, folks. Get your CPR. Just your pure for the male. Okay, right on. Okay. If y'all feel more comfortable carrying a few antibiotics, rubbing alcohol, I don't recommend it. Why not rubbing alcohol, y'all? Here is why. Do not pour alcohol on a wound. Okay. Here is why. It will destroy deep, healthy tissues along with bad bacteria. So I just don't recommend it. When I was helping out with the hurricanes, the first thing I saw some of the medics were doing was they were taking alcohol and dumping it on human bites, dog bites, and stuff like that. I do not recommend that. Soap and why? Okay, why? Because it destroys the healthy tissue along, it denatures the tissue and will destroy the healthy tissue right along with the bad bacteria or the junk. Just flush it out, y'all, with drinking water. If you have access to normal saline, that's how I pronounce it. Normal saline, okay? If you have access to that, by all means, poke a hole in that container and hose it out. I'd rather use normal saline as opposed to water, but if drinking water is all you have, it's clean, you haven't been sucking on it out in the mud, poke a one hole in that top and irrigate that puppy out till you see all the debris flushed out, okay? After that, folks, just use regular care. Cover it up, tape it up really well. You know, as a matter of fact, anything that's a dirty wound, I would, hey, as long as it's not profusely bleeding, leave it open a little bit to help flush out the toxins out, okay? Just FYI. Again, the life you may save may be your own. That's primary. Next, the life you save may be a loved one. Spouse, children, mom, dad, whatever the case, a cousin, you know. The person is a total will spread, if you get my point on that one, you know. This patient the other day asked me, Johnny, where do you hide your wings? You know, I'm like, I don't. I just keep them around the people that I care about. Okay, whether I know them or not, or whether they're my family or not. That's what I do with my wings. Okay. That said, folks, there's a lot of things that I don't think you should carry alcohol, folks, in your first aid kit. Great. Carry that alcohol that you use to sanitize your hands with. Okay, I'd rather you do that. Water, stick with the water. It's easy. It's everywhere. Wash with lots of clean water. Yes, clean water and just plain soap, folks. You don't have to use the antibacterial stuff. I'm not just want to tell you this, and apart from the discussion, forgive me. After the stream, check out my shoots on AKs and awesome. All right, shoot me the link if you can later on. Okay, I will. All right. I believe in watching everybody. For the reason is you can learn something from everyone, even if it is what not to do. Okay. I'm trying to think of anything else here, folks. Right on. I will check it. Don't worry about that. Just shoot me later on. Shoot me a link, and I'll rock that. Folks, anything else? Yes, a little bit of iodine, but it's not. It's, you know, soap and water, folks, is the best thing you can use for any wound. Now, that said, until you get to a higher level of care, again, folks, I'm talking primary, basic first aid, okay? Also, believe it or not, we were out here doing some practice maneuvers, and lo and behold, snake, okay? What I want you to do about snake bites. I don't, folks. The first thing that somebody said, wow, if I'd have got bit, I would have elevated above the level of the heart. Wrong. Don't do that, okay? You just want to keep at the level or lower because you don't want that venom going through. And then the other thing he said was, I'll just take out my handy old razor cutter and I'll cut too. Okay, don't do that either. He said, well, Johnny, I saw your video about the ice. Don't put ice on it either, for crying out loud. You need to come to my snake bite class. Do you all want me to do a video about snake bites? Considering a lot of us live here in snake bite video, y'all? Never suck the venom. No, don't do that either. Okay, right on. You're awesome. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. please, people, there's some things you do with a snake. If y'all want me to do a video later on about snake bites, I'll do it. Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen one here on YouTube, but it's important to know, especially during the summertime. Little varmints are still, it's 80 degrees right now outside, and they're still crawling around out there. I had to, shoot one the other day because he got in my chicken hutch. To the snake bite vid, y'all keep on track, okay? Because I'll do that. It's important. It's very basic information, folks, but it is important that you know how to take care of those. No, don't cut it. No, don't put ice on it. No, don't above the level of the heart. By the way, folks, your boots, your shoes. Mayo is good. Butter is also, use butter. Yeah, I mean, water. Just use water, okay? Just cool it off with water. You don't want to use any creams or anything, folks, to trap the heat in to keep it burning, okay? Just water. Just cool water. Snake in the South. A majority of time that I get a snake bite victim in the ER, let me tell you how it happens. The two biggest reasons is, one, I left my muddy boots on the front porch. And guess what slithered in there looking for a nice little hidey hole? A snake. Most of the time, it's a baby rattler in this area, no joke, or it's a copperhead. I will do the video for y'all, trust me, okay? Please do not, I know it's a common thing. A lot of us, we have tidy spouses, we have anal retentive spouses. Get those mighty shoes out of here. Hose them off if you have to. Have one of those fuzzy, bristly, I was going to say something else, but I won't say that word. Bristly mats. Hose off your outside shoes, whatever, okay? Put them in a trash bag and use the tie, whatever. But do not just leave your outside boots or shoes outside. They make great hiding places for things that will bite you and that are venomous, to include the brown recluse spider and the black widow spider, okay? Foreign snakes. What do you want to know about foreign snakes, y'all? I've met a few. When I decided not to pay their dinner, they got mad. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to go down that road. Okay. Scorpions, folks, let me tell you about the scorpions we have here in Texas. We call them cedar scorpions or wood scorpions. Their sting is painful. Feels like someone takes a match and holds it up against your skin. But is it lethal? You have a gross allergy. It hurts like crazy. You don't want to get a shoe and to death. As a matter of fact, they're good at crawling on walls. They're good at blending in with anything. Did it get you on a, yeah, centipedes. They got to be really big. Okay, a centipede's got to be venomous and really big, folks, to do any damage to you. It can cause a little necrosis to your skin. Don't worry too much about them. Yes, nasty looking. Yeah, okay. But basically, folks, don't wear your shoes outside. Bring them inside. Hose them off if you have to. If you must leave them outside, get you a trash bag that you can tie a tight knot, a nylon cable tie, zip, So what if you waste a trash bag? What does a trash bag cost? You want to know what a snake bite costs? How much antivenom costs? The average person, listen up, folks, depending on which facility you go to, the average person, I have to use 6 vials of antivenom. I think it's $3,000 for each vial. Do the math, okay? So that's what, $6,000 a vial, $36,000 for the antivenom alone. The reason why, folks, a lot of hospitals don't keep it is because it's expensive, okay? No kidding, brother. I'm not kidding you. Antivenom is anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 a vial, okay? I normally have to use, on the average size adult, about 6 vials. Healthcare is expensive, okay? Trust me, folks, when I say this. My paycheck, when you put it on paper, is this big. I'm not kidding you. When they take out taxes, medical insurance, guess what? It is cut down to half. I get no breaks because I own every damn thing, okay? I shell out a lot of money in bills and stuff like that, but my paycheck instantly gets cut in half every month, okay? Because of healthcare insurance, the cost of healthcare insurance that I have, especially because of my age, and we might get into that later, but because of also taxes. No joke. Antivenom, $3,000 to $6,000 a vial each person. Okay, then you got the cost of the ER physician, lab work, because we're gonna have to do lab work. We have to do a CBC. We're gonna have to do a platelet, a clotting factor, which we call a PTT, and a few other things, folks. So trust me, folks, I'd rather you put your shit in a plastic bag. You know, oh, by the way, if you're camping out, same thing. Okay, anything you're gonna slip on, get you the big industrial size Ziploc bags or a trash bag. What is a trash bag and a nylon cable tie cost? Okay. Also, in your IFAK kit, keep a trash bag. Okay, you could be amazed what you have to put in there. Okay. Also, people, I don't want to get gross. Those of you who saw my video about how to take care of a traumatic amputation, that applies for everything, just bigger, be it a hand, okay? The one I'm putting in your kit, folks, will handle the average size hand. Trust me. And you treat it the same way. I don't want to get gross, but that's true. I'm trying not to give up too away to it. Let's just say I had to do a traumatic amputation of the lower leg, folks. That was not. I'm trying to say all this, folks, without giving away too much information, but I'm trying to teach you how to train it. Will it freak you out? Absolutely. But I need you to take that deep breath, touch your heart, folks, and count to 10 because I don't need you. That person's life depends on you. You may have to depend on yourself. Rattlesnakes do they like dark places. They also like where they're trying to get to heat this time of the year. And during the summer, they want to find a cooler place because of how they regulate their temperatures. They like to hang out around things that are like rocks. And what's the first thing we do, folks? We stick our hands underneath and trying to move a rock. We see a stump laying on the ground or a fallen tree, and we, brother, I hear you, man. Charge you for the light bulbs, no doubt. You want to jump over a fallen tree? Well, guess what's on the other side? A damn rattlesnake. The two biggest things I see is from shoes and from people trying to remove a rock with their hands and they get bit in the hand, okay? So feet and hands are big things. I don't see it. So the only time the mobile home trying to do the pinning, he didn't like me too well. Okay, that patient didn't like me too well because, never mind, we're not going to go into details. But it does happen. The other place, the third leading place I see people get bit right on a keister. No joke. Somebody's got to sit down on top of something. And here in Texas, we have bluebonnets. What do people like to do on the side of the road when the bluebonnets are blooming in Texas, y'all? They want to go sit down and get a selfie. Well, guess what they sit down on sometimes, okay? I'm not kidding. Third place keister, okay? And you know what Tonto said? Poison out of the wound. You're going to die, Kim Wasabi, because I ain't doing it. So, hey, good to see you. Can y'all think of anything else you want to ask me about? We'll do the complete snake bite thing, folks. That's for a good video. There's not much care required for basic first aid, but I want everyone to start focusing on being a basic rifleman and being a basic first aid. Again, nothing fancy, folks, okay? What about concussions, okay? Here's what I concussions. I want you to focus on keeping that person awake until you can get to a higher level of care. All right, now, basically, devoid of using any medications. They sit there and say, oh, I got a splitting headache. Please, folks, I know it sounds cruel, but no pain medications, okay? I got you on head injuries. The only thing I want you to do is keep them awake. Again, if there's a wound, if something's bleeding, I want you to put pressure on it. You really have to do a lot of damage, folks, to the head to have a spurting wound, okay? Literally an arterial wound. Okay, and then you're just praying and everything. Hey, Yurok, how you doing? This screen is so big that I don't have to have my glasses to see what y'all print. Keep them awake. I want you to think about neck. If you hit that head hard enough, the most weakest part, y'all, is that neck. I want you to think about that neck. If you have to keep towels and roll them up to kind of keep some kind of level of position to that neck, I want you to think about that. A lot of us that have advanced kits, please, if you have an advanced kit, make sure there's a C-collar. Learn how to put it on. Don't turn their head. Don't make them move your head up. Don't do that, okay? Position of comfort, okay, in a natural position, okay? I may get one of my paramedic friends, and we may demonstrate that. If y'all are interested in that, we'll do that. You know what I thought you put? I thought a gilf monster. I've met a few of those, but anyway, that's not a Gila monster, okay? Failing lung filling full of air, and the guy is suffocated and breathe. Should I puncture the lung with it? Okay. All right, here's the deal about needle decrease. Understand you can have tracheal deviation, okay, from a pneumothorax and stuff like that. I want you to focus on just getting to a higher level of care. They're going to panic. If you have had the training, mid-clavicular, second intercostal space down above the third rib. Hello, been trained, okay? If you have had the training for that, great. Opposite side of the tracheal deviation, okay? I'm just giving you this rundown. If you have not been trained to do that, please I'm not saying throw it out of your kit, to avoid yourself of doing that, okay? Don't do that to the person. Comfort of care, okay? Focus on their airway, anything like that, and get them to a higher level of care, okay? I'd rather you do that. I'd rather them deal with a little bit of a collapsed lung and get them to a higher level of care. Chances are, if you're not bouncing them around too bad, you put your seals on them. If this is if we're talking about a gunshot wound, folks, put your seals on them. If you have an entrance wound, bam. Exit wound, bam. Only one, just the one, okay? How much anti-venom after mother-in-law bites you? That's a very good question. I recommend the tetanus shot, okay? That's it. There is no cure, okay? All right. Got it. Give the situation to an expert. Right on. Okay, exactly. Higher level of care, folks, okay? This is what we, in first aid classes. Somebody will come along and say, tap you on the shoulder and say, I am a paramedic. I am a doctor. Okay, I am a rescue field nurse. Whatever, I'm a frontier nurse. Whatever the case may be. I'm sorry, I didn't read that last one. Look, it was good. What stuff do you need? We'll go over that list. I'm sorry, y'all, I didn't see that. And if I'm keeping y'all too long, tell me, okay? I think this is information y'all need. Again, okay, you're talking about cell locks or quick clot or something like that. You see the military do it. Yes, folks, if you want to carry it with you, but I will tell you this from personal experience. We're trying to get away from that. Reason is I'd rather you put pressure on that wound. We have a hard time getting it cleaned out. We can, but, for example, let me tell you how this is going to work. It's going to start with you, the basic first aid person, okay? Keep it as simple as possible. Control that circulation, okay, that bleeding. Maintain that airway, okay? Stabilize whatever needs to be stable in a position of comfort, okay? Again, like Warsaw, just pour the water on it, folks, and pressure. If it's still bleeding after you put that first one, it's not intermittently spurting, another pressure, okay? If it's bleeding persistently, go to that tourniquet, okay? Get them off to a high level of care. Again, in my classes, we will pat you on the shoulder, okay? Paramedic, okay? Let me intervene here. We'll pretend like we'll tell you, get him in the vehicle. Use multiple man lifts if you have it available. If not, folks, it's a handy little thing, a poncho. Remember those old ponchos we had? All of us who were older veterans, remember the old ponchos? They work great. You put your patient on there and you dragged him around. Y'all remember that movie Hacksaw Ridge? You pull, I shoot. That's how it works, okay? Get them to a high level so you can load up a vehicle. One of the primary things you need to know is, can your patient take care of themselves too? Can they intervene? Can they act on their own behalf also? Can they assist you in their care? That's important. If not, then it's all up to you. Woo! Yes, I'm long-winded. I can talk a long time, folks. Direct pressure on wound, indirect pressure through pressure points, and tourniquet. Right on. Exactly, okay? Exactly. Did y'all read his comment, okay? Basically, direct pressure on a wound, indirect pressure through pressure points, okay? And tourniquet if that fails, okay? If you can't stop that bleeding, go for that tourniquet. Like I said, folks, you have about 4 minutes before that place at... thank you so much. Andrew, how you doing, buddy? Warsaw, glad that you're here, too. You have about 4 minutes from a major artery, like the femoral artery. Go to sleep, brother. Daniel, go to sleep. I'm about to go grab some chow myself. I know it's about that time. Folks, that's it. I'm going to close here in a few minutes. Anybody got anything else? Start thinking, folks, of what you want to have for our next live chat. Again, I consider this our channel, our information. Just because I know something doesn't mean that I can't pass it on. I need to pass this information on to y'all. Why? Let me just say this. Recent incidents I've seen. Right on. Thank you so much. Also, folks, Patreon account. Once I figure out how to do it, I'll do it, okay? Okay, good question. You would think, here's the thing about this, the flow, we talk about flow and color of blood. Good point. If it's dark, it's going to be really hard, okay, to judge the color. And most of the time that I see a lot of these injuries are happen is when? Kind of in the dark, okay? Somebody thought they could mow that last field right before it got dark. I can turn this wrench, just finish this one project right before it got dark, okay? Hey, Orange Pitbull. Right on. Thank you. Scorpion bites, easy to take care of. How about a punctured intestine? If it's sticking in, don't move it, okay? No water, by the way, folks. If it's a gut wound, do not, if as thirsty as they say they are, do not give them anything to drink, okay? Trust me, folks, if y'all keep me on this and remind me, I will do I'm going to try to get Doc John over here. He's got all the really cool current Army medic stuff. He's an awesome person. Go check out his channel. Most of the time we try to team up on these just because it's an awesome thing to do. I want to go over every organ system there is. Let me tell y'all something, folks, that is a huge wrong, okay? Misconception. There's a word I'm looking for. People think shot placement is everything. And people will sit there and say, hey, bro, how you doing? People will say if you shoot somebody in the head, they're going to die instantly. Let me say this, sadly, folks. I can take you to a whole ward at a VA hospital and some trauma level 1 trauma centers that are dedicated to head wounds that you would think would kill the average person, and it would, but you always have that exception to a rule. We're not all the same structure. We're not all the same size. The other day, I'm trying to say this, folks, without giving out too much information. 6 gunshot wounds to the chest, 9mm. Wasn't dead, okay? Was asking, please don't let me die, okay? But 6. You would think that would do somebody in. You get that person off to a level 1 trauma center and you let those trauma docs do their magic, okay? Okay, I can tell you, people say shot placement is everything. While for the most time, hey, how you doing, Trey? While the most time I will agree with that, there are always exceptions to the rule, okay? There are always gut injuries are dangerous. It's mostly, folks, because of the possibility of sepsis and infection and whatnot. You would be amazed, folks, what these trauma surgeons can do these days, okay? The youngest, there's a young lady, and I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. She was not one of my patients, so I can talk about this because this has been published in medical journals. She took a hunting rifle, okay? And she is the youngest. I think she's 24 or 26. She is the youngest. I'm doing good, Trey. Thank you. She's the youngest face transplant person in America. She took a 308, a hunting rifle, and tried to kill herself. You can look at before pictures. This was a absolutely gorgeous young lady, you know, but just because something looks good, folks, doesn't mean that everything is good in its life or anything. Youngest face transplant person in America. Go look her, go Google her. I can't remember her name, y'all. She is still beautiful. She's a survivor. I'm sorry, y'all. I just can't remember her name. She was not a patient of mine, but again, folks, I will sit there and tell you this. When it comes to first aid, don't let people tell you that shot placement is going to dictate how things, that's wrong. Any trauma nurse worth half their weight in salt or gold will tell you that. You will be amazed at what we've seen that people will live through, okay? Just keep that in mind. I want you to know for first aid persons, okay, I want you to understand this. You're not going to be saved. The first rule of that is you're not going to save everybody. Rule number 2 is this. Try to defeat. Rule number 5 to say there are days I go into work that I am on the road and I can kick death's ass in a heartbeat. I am proud to say that. Not every time. There are times that I hang my head low and know that I tried my best. But I will every day wake up, have my coffee, and get my mind and heart straight that I will be beating death's ass every day. Okay? Not just for me, not just for the ones I love, but for... All right, folks. Anything else before? Did I touch on everyone's question? I'm glad to see we have this many people. I'm about out of breath, y'all, and I need some chow really bad. Okay. I'm here by the grace of God to help everybody. So I'm getting a 7.62. I'm sorry I didn't catch that last part. I'm sorry. Yep, I hear you, brother. 7.62, 308, 7.62 is the NATO version. He survived. You would be, y'all would be amazed at what I have seen people survive. I have seen actual suicide attempts, and they were looking right at me, and it was terrible. Okay. Do I feel tired? I've had a long day, but y'all would be amazed at how much fight is always in this old man. Hey, good night. Appreciate y'all. Folks, if there was anything I forgot, please just flip this thing over and answer to it, okay? I will set up a Patreon account. I just got to figure out how to do it. Remember, y'all, I am way behind the eight ball and on technology and everything. I'm glad that y'all can see me and hear me today. I'm in a different section of the house. I'll get some better lighting here next time. But then again, I look good with this low level lighting, don't I? All right. So bless y'all. Blessings to y'all. Faith and y'all be cool to each other. Uh, you carry a 45. It says 49. 40. Okay. I carry a 40 also, y'all. That's my everyday carry. God bless y'all. Good night. If there's anything you can cover, please don't hesitate. Go to my Practical Nurse Facebook page and just post it on there. When I do the next video, I will put a link on there to all that stuff. I will try my best to set up a Patreon account. If there's anything that I should be wary of, y'all please let me know. God bless y'all. Salute. I think we're about at an hour's time. Night, brother. Night, everybody. Okay. Y'all take care. If you're in a foreign country, shalom, toodles, whatever, arrivederci. Auf Wiedersehen, my cousins in Germany. God bless you guys and everything. Good night, and I will see y'all. Okay. God bless everybody. Y'all take care, okay? God bless.